All right, let's just jump right in. Think of this as a reality check for anyone who feels stuck. Like you're constantly waiting for that perfect moment to finally start living. Well, if you're tired of putting your life and your success on hold, you've come to the right place.
So let me just ask you this straight up. Are you living your life in a waiting room? Are you always putting off your happiness, your big goals, your feeling of being successful for some future event that just never seems to show up? It's a really subtle trap, but man, it completely drains our energy and sabotages our potential before we even get started.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You're just trying to power through the work week to get to Saturday. Or you're holding out for that one genius business idea that's just going to pop into your head. Or maybe you tell yourself, okay, once I have $1 million in the bank, then I'll finally be happy. But here's the problem. That whole mindset turns the present moment, which is literally the only thing we ever have, into this annoying obstacle we just have to get through.
So, how in the world do we break out of this cycle? Well, the writer Eckhart Tolle lays out this brilliant framework. He says the secret is realizing that we all have two different inner clocks ticking away inside of us. And once you learn to tell them apart, you can totally reclaim your focus. First up, you've got what he calls psychological time. And honestly, this is the mental trap. This is where we get stuck replaying old mistakes over and over, turning one little screw-up into our entire identity. It's also where we live in this constant state of anxiety about a future we can't even control. This is the source of almost all our stress, and sadly, it's where most people spend their entire lives.
But then there's clock time. And this is a whole different ballgame. Clock time is just a practical tool. It's what you use to schedule a meeting, set a deadline for a project, or learn a practical lesson from something that happened in the past. There's no emotional baggage here, no anxiety, no regret. It's just a tool for getting things done in the real world.
Just look at the difference here. On the left, psychological time just drains you. It's all stress and frustration. But on the right, clock time focuses your energy. It gives you clarity. Here's the key. Think about an elite surgeon. They use clock time to schedule the surgery and review the patient's files. But the second they walk into that operating room, the future, the result, it all disappears. All that exists is the scalpel in their hand and the one precise action they have to take right now. That is the mindset of a top performer. They plan using clock time, and then they execute with 100% of their focus on the present step.
Okay, so that's the goal. But how do we actually do it? How do we stop living in that anxiety-ridden psychological time and start becoming masters of clock time? Well, it boils down to a really practical 3-step process.
Here are the 3 pillars. First, you've got to honor the now. Second, you elevate your action. And third, you anchor yourself in your body. So let's break down what each of those actually means.
So step 1, honor the work right in front of you. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're drafting a big proposal or just answering an email, give that one thing your complete, undivided attention. Stop treating this moment like it's just a stepping stone to get somewhere else. When you really honor the present, you unlock a whole new level of quality in everything you do.
And that leads perfectly into step 2, which is to elevate your action. You see, when your attention isn't split a million ways, when you're not just grinding through something, hating it, and wishing it was over, something amazing happens. Tolle calls it the joy of being. It starts to flow into your work. And suddenly, the things you do stop feeling heavy and annoying. They become light, powerful, and frankly, impeccable.
And finally, step 3 is how you make this stick. You anchor yourself in your body. See, our minds have this crazy momentum that's always trying to drag us back into worry and anxiety. The way you fight that is by consciously shifting your focus out of all that mental noise. Like right now, just feel the energy in your hands. Feel your feet on the floor. Pay attention to your breath. This simple act literally cuts the fuel line to stress and obsessive thinking.
Now you might be thinking, why go through all this trouble? What's the real payoff here? Well, the ultimate reward is a massive, profound shift in the quality of your entire life and your work. It all comes from this state of presence.
I mean, just look at this comparison. On the left, when you're fueled by stress, everything you do feels heavy and you make more mistakes. But on the right, when you're fueled by presence, your actions become joyful and impeccable. Your intuition gets sharper, your decisions are almost surgical, and you start operating from this place of centered power instead of fear. And this quote just nails it. It says, "Success becomes a fun game you adore playing because internally you already feel complete." When you stop needing some future accomplishment to feel whole, chasing your goals is no longer this desperate struggle.
It becomes a game, a fun one that you play with total focus and creativity because you're no longer terrified of losing.
Okay, I know this sounds great, but you need a tool you can use in the middle of a crazy day, right? When your stress is spiking and you're about to lose it? I got you. Here is a super simple, incredibly powerful mental reset you can do absolutely anywhere. All it takes is 30 seconds. That's it. And there's actual science behind this. When you're stressed out, your brain's alarm system goes into overdrive. This simple body scan actually shifts your brain activity from that panic button to the calm, rational part of your brain. So in just half a minute, you can literally change your brain chemistry and get back to that state of presence right before a big meeting or a tough conversation.
Here's how you do it. It's called the quick body scan. You just close your eyes for a second and bring all of your attention down to your feet. Really feel the energy inside them. Then, just let your attention travel up your body like a slow, gentle wave, up through your legs, your torso, your arms, all the way to the crown of your head, and then let it wash back down again. It's an instant circuit breaker that pulls you out of your head and right back into the present moment.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Forget about next week. Forget about tomorrow. Forget about even 5 minutes from now. What could you give your full, undivided, impeccable attention to in this exact second? The answer to that question right there is where all of your real power is.